And
No, no.
what I look like.
And let me show you. You look great.
What's going on there? Are they having riots?
No, that was from a different rally.
You look great.
You know, they ought to put a 1-year penalty. You burn the flag. You burn the American flag, that you go to jail for 1 year. And they say it's unconstitutional, but they have to change it. You shouldn't be allowed to burn the American flag. My new book is coming out. It's called Save America. I think you're going to love it. It's tremendous pictures. And go out and get it. You're going to be very happy. So this is a book that we just came out with. And I think it's really amazing. Look at it. Every leader all over the world. Melania, India, North Korea, Kim Jong-un. This was a very famous picture right here. But I got along great with him, too. I got along really great with him. And we had no problem. It's crazy. That could have been resolved. This is President Xi of China. A very powerful leader of China, maybe the most powerful leader ever, maybe. You have some others, obviously, but he's right in that category. Very good relationship. I made a fantastic trade deal with China, $50 billion. They had to buy $50 billion a year from us. President Xi is a very amazing man. Controls a country with an iron fist. He's very smart. I got along with him very good until COVID came along, but I'll get along with him good again. And here's another one. And this is with Queen Elizabeth. Right here, who was fantastic, by the way. These images, I mean, who has images like this? And these were relationships, too. Look, here's now the king. Here's Charles with the guard. And this is the Queen, Queen Elizabeth. It's a piece of history at the highest level. Look, it's Charles. So beautiful. And they'll see the most beautiful places in the world. There are no places like this. And hopefully he's going to be well, because he's a really good person. Camilla is fantastic. You get to know him so well. This is your favorite president with the Queen. She was unbelievable. She was great. We had a very good relationship, really good. This is NATO right here. This is at the United Nations. These are just great pictures. Interesting. Justice Amy Coney Barrett. Very high quality photos. Wonderful guy. So interesting. Even talking to you now and showing you, like, this was going to last for 2 seconds. And you start turning the pictures, and even me, I mean, I'm looking at these pictures. So beautiful. Look, this is with the First Lady in front of the White House. Really something. Look, standing in front of the church, very famous photo. Christians love this photo. It wasn't put out of love, but Christians love the photo. It's such history. It's not about me, but as you go through the book, it's like you can't put it down. Look, this is unbelievable. You know what that is, right? South Dakota. Beautiful state. And the cover is actually, we decided to do that's a cover.
Here's your iced tea. You're welcome, dear. How are you? Good here? So I got fortunate when I went to the rally on the 13th. I'll be right back. We were gonna stand in the field, and I don't know if it was FBI or Secret Service actually come up and asked us if we wanted to sit behind Trump on the stage. So that's where I was at, was right behind Trump. Come on into my office. I hide down here. This is from behind the stage. where I was seated up in the upper right over Dawn's shoulder, looking out to the crowd. I went to his rally in 2020, one of the best times I ever had in my life. This one, not so much.
The crowd was massive in Butler.
The energy is palpable. President Donald J. Trump expected any minute now.
I came from a background of event planning and large outdoor events, which I thought could translate to outdoor rallies.
These outdoor rallies have like an extra element of, I guess, surprise, wouldn't you say?
It's a lot easier to put on an indoor rally. You control everything.
We are live here, RSBN.
When you're outdoors, you have to build everything that's going to be there, right? It just starts as a piece of grass and then eventually it has to become what it is. Outdoor rallies are a little bit more difficult, but you know, it was going as expected.
Nothing felt off that day. It just felt like another normal rally day.
Everybody's out here ready, energized, and excited. So many fabulous patriots. And
There was really nothing unusual, nothing out of the ordinary.
so many exciting things going on. And in just moments, President Donald J. Trump will take the stage.
Mayor Longo, you started the day here in Butler. You were in a tent to meet the president and photo with him.
I gotta say, I was just so impressed by how complimentary he was. And my wife got to join me, so again, it was a great honor. She was so excited as a law enforcement officer to be able to enjoy a moment with the president. Then he asked me about what it was like on the ground here. He said, "What's going on in Butler County, Mayor? How is it looking out there in Pennsylvania?" I said, "Mr. President, Butler County's working very hard for you, sir. We're going to deliver Pennsylvania to you and get you back to the White House."
I wear many hats. I help run the office here at Mar-a-Lago. When we're on the road, I mainly focus on behind-the-scenes videos of President Trump.
The buffer, which is the area between the stage and the crowd. Working with you guys is always a pleasure. So I was happy to bring you backstage and into the buffer and wherever we were going to go for the day's events.
You just wanted to say hello to you before the interview. Yeah. Okay. So this is Selena.
He asked to meet with one of the reporters who would later be a big part of this story, Selena Zito, a great reporter. And because of that, she was escorted from the clicks area into the buffer. And normally she wouldn't be in that area, but because of the circumstances and the timeline, she ended up there. And it became a big part of the story.
Listen, you gonna find me?
Yeah. I have a photographer with me.
Then you and I can have some fun, okay?
Totally.
Because this place is exploding.
Usually I'm in the buffer the whole time. This was actually abnormal for me that day. I always stay in the buffer until all the photographers leave. And about 5 minutes in, I thought, well, let me look around and see what other content I can get. I wanted to get other angles of the crowd.
This here's a shot of the flag that was all twisted up because it didn't look like what it did from the front, from where I was at, because I was kind of under it. This is as they were raising the flag back up after they straightened it, and everyone was cheering. After the fact, when they showed a picture of the flag and what it looked like, it gives me chills.
This is a big crowd. This is a big, big, beautiful crowd. I wish the fake news back there would show it. I wish they'd spin their cameras and show it, because nobody would believe it. You know, the other day, Biden was saying,
For whatever reason that day, I decided to walk around and get content elsewhere. So I walked over to the fence line. That's when I actually saw the commotion going on across the way.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down, see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
Thank you, Trump! Thank you, Trump! Instead, I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a Senate.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look.
And it's
There he
not
is.
easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people.
On top of the roof, over there.
We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
Right on the roof.
It's much tougher than it happened.
Right on the roof.
And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that shot.
They're clearing the building right now. We've got one down on the roof.
They're moving him right now. Get in the tent.
Yeah, I performed CPR after he got shot.
Are you okay?
Are
you okay?
We're going to check on that. We're just going to let everybody else flow through.
I'm okay.
Keep going, guys. Please keep going.
The individual that got shot, he had a headshot right here.
He had a headshot?
Yeah, there's...
Keep coming.
I didn't notice that. I just had everybody pull him up, put him on a bench, and I did CPR on him.
But he got
and I breathed for him. He got shot in the head, and he did not have any pulse.
Let's go.
He was without pulse or respiration, so the police picked him up and took him.
The police took him out?
Yes, they did. With the medics, and they got him right in an ambulance right away.
They did.
And all I could do was CPR. I breathed for him.
What kind of doctor are you?
I'm an emergency department physician.
And your name, sir?
Sweetland, Dr. Sweetland. I'm from Du Bois.
Thank you for what you did today, regardless of the situation.
It's what I do. I think our democracy would be better if the candidates just spoke.
Mr. Barry, give it to my wife. Mr. Barry, give that to my wife. She's in the red over there.
You follow the Secret Service back.
The last time that I took incoming fire was in 2011 in Afghanistan. The first shot that I heard, my ear recognized it, truth be told, but my brain would not allow me to digest the fact that that was even a possibility.
I knew pretty immediately it was a gun. All I remember is running through an open field with bullets coming from behind me, and I had no idea where they were going. I found the closest car next to me and got behind a car wheel.
It was just a very confusing moment. Where are the shots coming from? What do you do?
Selena was right next to you.
Yeah, she had ducked for cover. I just covered her and her daughter up and then started looking around to see where gunshots were coming from, if I could even tell.
Shocking what we just saw a few minutes ago. As you can see, we're behind the podium about 10 minutes later. You can see a pair of sunglasses. One side of them broken off. There's also a white rag on the ground. The podium is sideways. You can see there's a Diet Coke and another towel underneath it. The sign on the front tilted literally 15 feet away at the time.
How many shots did you guys hear? Like it was like 8 or 10 or?
It was a lot. It was more than 5.
I saw you guys. That's just, I don't know.
OSA, I've got Tucker Carlson's team here. We want to handle this by allowing them to. We're going to go back into OSA. All right, let's go right now.
So we were able to get out of that area after they turned it into an active crime scene, Shannon and Bill, and we were able to talk with some people who heard what we heard too, those several pops as they all took cover here.
got down and we huddled and we just started praying. The lady in front of me that laid on top of me, she was crying. I said, it's gonna be okay, honey. We just prayed, we prayed.
Again, panic. Everybody was shaking. It's a shame. It truly is a shame.
We're on our way out. Secret Service just said there's another threat. So we're trying to get in the car with our gear. It's not safe. Put us in a safe area. Now, another threat. Let's see what that means.
I was elected sheriff in 2009 and took office in January of 2010. I'm in my 38th year in law enforcement. I don't care what political party you're from. I'm going to do my job, uphold the Constitution and your rights. You know, the citizens of this county, especially those who are there, are still very upset that this happened in our town.
It was very terrifying. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. I've never had guns whizzing past me or near me like that. I'm so glad they weren't successful.
Are you surprised that somebody was able to make it that far with a scope, with that gun?
Of course, you're surprised. You know, you sit back and think it should have never happened. This is what the investigation's going to come up with, their recommendations and their conclusions at the end of the day. And, you know, whether it's a Secret Service or any law enforcement agency, you know, they're going to work much closer, I think, together than maybe they have. Nobody wants this to happen again.
I never really was into politics, but he's kind of made me take an interest in politics and our policies and the way things are going. He's a true patriot. I've loved the man ever since before he even became famous with the celebrity show that he had. I really feel that he's the best thing for our country that we've had in a long, long times. Honestly, since Ronald Reagan. I was young, but I remember it all. I know firsthand it's had an impact on me and my family. I'm trying to put a daughter through college, and I'm barely making ends meet. So we really need someone like Donald back in office. I'm begging.
You seem kind of emotional.
I am emotional because I love this man. I never met him personally, but I love the man.
We'd like President Trump to come back. We'd like to end on a positive note.
His visit back here to us in Butler County is going to be a part of the healing process for this community. It's going to be to honor Corey and his family. It's going to help elevate the name of Butler County out of the ugliness and the horror of July 13th. We're thankful for the president and his courage to come back and give us another chance to host him here. It's a great honor.
And we're also learning more about the man who was killed, 50-year-old former Buffalo Township volunteer fire chief Corey Comparator, who was said to be protecting his family when shots rang out.
Who dove on top of his family members to protect them when those shots started ringing out.
So this is a sad and tragic day. We lost a fellow Pennsylvanian.
He was the greatest American hero. He took a bullet for the president, protected his family. One of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my life. He will be greatly missed.
He was the glue to our family. He was our strength. He was everything to us.
He loved those girls more than anything on earth. They were his world.
He saved his wife, he saved his child. He was a great man that was a great father. He was a great husband.
He lost his life selflessly acting as a human shield to protect them from flying bullets. He went right over the top of them and was hit. What a fine man he was.
Corey loved his community. Corey died a hero.
He was just the best guy. He was just the best.
I first saw him when we left the hospital and got to the airport. We were all gathered around the TV watching what had just happened. There was no time to even process it. We're so on the go. We had the RNC in a couple days. There was no question in his mind. He was going to the RNC. Nothing was going to change about the schedule.
For the first time in 20 years, you've got the Republican Party fully behind one candidate and ready to send them to the White House.
It's not just about Republican unity this year, it's about national unity.
It's unbelievable how energetic people are.
His focus and his energy has risen. Donald Trump was centimeters away from almost not being with us, but he fights on.
We have this announcement at the Donald Trump Truth Social. After lengthy deliberation and thought, and considering the tremendous talents of many others, I have decided that the person best suited to assume the position of Vice President of the United States is Senator J.D. Vance of the great state of Ohio.
Madam Chair, it is a great honor to move that J.D. Vance be nominated for the office of Vice President of the United States of America.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye! For the ayes have it, and the motion is adopted.
J.D. Vance is young, he is brilliant. I think J.D. Vance showcases where the energy of our activists are.
My friends, tonight is a night of hope. A celebration of what America once was, and with God's grace, what it will soon be again.
A lot of crazy stuff happening right now. The reports about Biden getting out of the election, so we're going to see what happens.
There are people out there wondering whether he should stay in the race.
Nancy Pelosi reportedly told Biden that he cannot beat Trump.
Can Democrats force Biden out if he doesn't want to drop out of the race?
No, I don't think they can force him out. This is something that has to come from him.
It's not going to happen. That's the whole thing. It is a Washington fantasy. It's just not happening.
So I decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. It's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now.
Well, I think culture is a reflection of our moment in our time.
For us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present. I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, you know? It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, you know, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here.
Politics was never something I liked. Business was my background, real estate, MBA. I was very much not interested in politics in California. I feel like you get the same kind of sort of politicians. But when I was sick, I started watching the Republican debates. He was my first exposure to politics, and I loved it. Like, this guy, you know, he gets it.
They were preparing her for death. Her name is Natalie Harp, and because of Right to Try, she's now living and I think doing phenomenally well. And somebody said she's here. Are you here, Natalie? Where's Natalie? Will you come up here, please?
I had cancer, and he saved my life. Signed that bill, and ever since he found out, he stayed in touch with me and made sure I was okay. This is my third year working for him. People realize around the world now what he brought to the country, to the world. There was peace, there was safety, there was security, and they miss it and they want it back. You have world leaders reaching out, and what they saw happen in Butler realized that kind of strength of character, that's the message you wanted to leave with your people, is you're never down, you just keep fighting.
The bigger miracle was that I was looking in the exact direction of the shooter.
There's no scientific, oh, well, that's just, he always looks that way in that direction. No, it was not in the teleprompter. That's not, he went completely off script. He never shows the border chart that early. It's always at the end of the speech. There's no human explanation.
I said, bring down that sign on immigration. And it was literally about an eighth of a second where it would be good. And after that, it was going to be a disaster, no matter which way you were facing.
God saved his life. God intervened in that moment. God wants him alive.
You're in charge of putting the graphics up, right?
Yeah.
You put the graphic up on immigration.
Yep.
You're probably the most famous graphics operator in America now. You realize that? You're the most important graphics operator in America now. Has that set in at all? Or?
Here she is. She saved my life!
I just hope that come November, Donald takes back over the country and puts us back on the right track.
When the president stood up in what I can only describe as a triumphant defiance and raises his hand, wrangles it from the Secret Service to show everybody in the crowd, I'm here and I'm alive and I'm not gonna stop. He says, fight, fight, fight. It was a wake-up call to us. It was a call to action. It was be strong. Stand with me right now.
Like as a true leader, he was like leading us.
I said, sir, I can't believe your first instinct was to fist pump the air. I mean, it was unbelievable.
It gives you goosebumps.
It truly showed strength under fire.
You know, he's a badass, right? Thought that was true Trump fashion.
Your actions were inspiring. The president of the United States represents America. You were pumping your fist in the air and saying, fight, fight, fight. And I think that is America. That is strength under fire.
Nice news from the legal front. The Supreme Court, they're going to accept our appeal.
Today's going to be a good day. One of the biggest rallies we've seen in a long time.
There's a lot about him that the media never sees.
How much he genuinely cares.
These are courageous people.
A lot of us have been with him since 2016.
The people that are really close to him are still with him.
He knows how important this election is.
2 former Democratic candidates have endorsed Donald J. Trump.
5 million likes in the first 30 minutes.
They will put Donald Trump in prison.
It's a dangerous job being president.